just start the.
Oh no, just keep going from where you was at.
Should I? I don't know. All right, fuck it. All right, welcome to episode 91 of Those Minutes Podcast. Today I'm your host, K the Classic. I'm here with my nearest and dearest. Jesse's here. Hey Jess, how's it going, man? My bad, he wasn't ready.
My bad, I had to mute my TV.
Rail's not here. Hopefully he'll be joining us soon. But if not, then Rail's not here. We're recording this on a Sunday. It's like 5 o'clock. So if anything happens, don't blame us. So me and Jesse were just talking about the NBA 75 list. I know it's been talked about ad nauseum on the internet, and obviously the stuff with Klay Thompson is funny as fuck. Jesse, did you see that shit?
Yeah, they gave him the 77 jersey.
77 jersey, yeah. So I personally don't have any real big gripes with the list, and especially like, you know, I pay attention to basketball. I think I'm one of the, you know, I don't consider myself a 1%er, but I'm at least in like the 4%ers where I pay attention to a lot of shit of basketball, and I'm not necessarily a basketball historian. Anything in the late 80s, in the 90s, obviously I got, but like all those other people that's in the 70s, in the early 80s, in the 60s, like I can't judge and say
I can't make an argument against,
or I can't argue against them. Like 70s, I can't say nothing against Mikan.
I mean, you said 70s and 80s, like you can at least argue 80s because that's actual at that time. At least it was like television, or they were moving towards like television. 60s, I can't argue with 50s and 60s.
I can't argue about none of that. Like,
and so I'm not going to. Like, I'm just not going to argue against that, except for Bill Walton. But whatever.
What's wrong with Walton?
I'm sorry. No, I compare. Like, we were making this argument, right? We're talking about this, right? Like, nothing against Bill.
Like, I don't know who Paul is. As is, I don't know who that is.
Like I don't know. Like,
I've never seen Nate Thurman play. Like, I've heard of him.
I'm keeping it real with you. Like, all right, I'm not hating on Bill Walton. Like, I'm pretty sure he's like top 80 or 90. But I think even his peers would say like he had an excellent college career. Excellent college career. Him and I believe it was him and Kareem on the UCLA teams, right? But you know, he started out cool in the NBA. He started out really good in the NBA. Took the Blazers to the finals, right?
Yep.
And then won another one with the Celtics, right?
Right.
But you look at his numbers and you compare that to, he wasn't the best player on the Celtics, so he was like actually a role player for the Celtics at that time.
Right.
On the Blazers, yeah, you could say he was the best player, but his numbers don't even like match up to Dwight's numbers. Now,
right.
If you want to sit there and say, this is where it's like, okay, I've never seen Bill Walton play in my life. And people will say like he was a better overall player, like skill wise and talent wise and everything. Then all right, fine. If that's what you're taking over Dwight, then okay. But I don't know. I don't think he's above Dwight. That's all. I don't think you know what? It's not even, I don't think he's above Dwight. I don't think he's above a few players, is what I would say.
You don't have Bill Walton. Again, I can't argue this because
all I do is pull up the numbers. When it comes to him, I'll pull up the numbers.
So this is what I was gonna do. Like,
yeah.
To repeat, I necessarily don't have a problem with said list. Said list is fine for 75. Now, as a Blazers fan, Do I feel like Dame has earned his way onto that list yet? Probably not quite there. But am I mad at it? No, because the way he's playing, he's probably going to end up on that list.
My thing is like, well, I would have to look at, and I'm pretty sure people have done this already. I would have to look at who did they end up taking off the top 50. And
not many. I think Alex English, who got mad, he was on Twitter talking about he felt a little way about not being on the list, which, again, another player that I've heard plenty of stories about.
I'm just like, but, and I'll also say this, like the guys that got added that are currently in the NBA, it's like, this is how like hard it is to make that list. These 75
guys, was 7. Yeah.
These guys had to be out of this world break record numbers type of guys.
Yeah.
Harden, out of this world break record numbers. Westbrook, if Westbrook didn't have his last 5 years, I don't think
no, probably not.
Because in those 5 years, he averaged a triple double. Like he had to do that. LeBron, how many finals, breaking records, top 5 in all statistical categories.
Yeah.
Steph Curry breaking the 3-point. Like this is how hard. If you're a current NBA player or you've been in the league for 7-8 years, and you're like a Damian Lillard, which I don't think he's upset about it, but like say a Damian Lillard, right? That's what you have to do to make it on this list. Like,
and look, I and again, me being a basketball nerd and not only just preparing for this podcast to talk about this in depth, when the list was fully announced. By the way, let me go over this real quick. Kudos not only for said list. Like I said, I know this list was hard. People act like this shit was easy, but not only do I think they did a hell of a job with this list, the people that they selected to do said list was fucking phenomenal. I have no gripes about the people that they picked to do this. And I'm just gonna it's a lot of people, so I'm just gonna read a couple of the names that were handpicked and selected to do this list. By the way, I think this is how they should do All-Star, and then we won't have stupid moments where motherfuckers on 15 player 15 on said bench gets fucking Zaza Pachulia gets fucking almost voted into All-Star games and shit. But anyway, so they have Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Marv Albert, David Aldridge, Giannis Antetokounmpo. So they mixed in current players as well. Becky Hammond.
Giannis is kind of
Elvin Hayes, Robert Parrish, Shaquille O'Neal, Dirk Nowitzki, Rachel Nichols, Bill Russell, Bill Simmons, Marcus Spears, Bob Ryan. Bob Ryan's on the list. Ahmad Rashad, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, Steve Kerr, Zach Lowe. Like literally all these people whose opinions I super duper value. Not just me, but everybody should value when it comes to this space. It's a lot of knowledge. There's people that have written books, who's been around the game, who literally grew up watching the game, and there's also players. I think they did a good job of mixing all that into one said list. I didn't even go over everybody.
There's a good amount of players on there.
It's a great amount of players on this.
It's actually surprising how many players you've said so far.
Like again, Jack McCallum, who's written, I can't even remember how many basketball books he's fucking written. Anyway, but I was searching.
Bob Ryan, who's a Celtics historian.
Celtics, Bill Simmons, same thing.
He knows
everything from literally Jay Adande, who's basically like he grew up with the Lakers, Showtime Lakers. But back to what I was saying, I was basically saying that there were some players that I kind of wanted to take off said list to put on other players. Like I was trying to make room for Dwight.
It's like, who do you take off to make room for him? And it's
I looked really
looking at this, and it's like James Worthy was 76. James Worthy was 76. Like,
can I tell you who I went on the list and who I was going after hard? I still have their list up. Let me pull it up real quick. I looked at Paul Pierce hard on this list.
Yeah, he's not on it. Is he on it?
He's on the list.
Oh yeah, I see him. Yeah, I see him right there.
I looked at Paul Pierce hard, and I was trying to find a way to kind of take him off this list. And believe me, I kind of can, but again, my criteria, everybody's criteria is a little different. Best player on the finals team. Finals MVP.
Never won an MVP though.
Never won a regular season MVP. No,
but he's been in top 5 MVP.
But he's been in the top 5 in MVP vote. I can't remember how many times off the top of my head. And then I looked at his scoring. Like he averaged, 25, 26, 25, 23, 21, 26, 25. For a very long time. Kyrie's is longer. I was looking at Kyrie's list too, admittedly.
I have questions for you. I have a question for you.
Okay.
Oh, this is you take Paul Pierce and you give him the career Tracy McGrady had with the teams that Tracy McGrady had, and you give Tracy McGrady the teams that Paul Pierce had. What are you saying?
T-Mac gets 3 rings.
Okay.
I don't even think this is a hot take. I think prime T-Mac is better than fucking prime Paul Pierce. Is that even discussion? Prime healthy either of those dudes.
Well, here's the thing about Paul Pierce. Like he had the run when it was him and Antoine Walker, like at the beginning of his career.
Yeah.
And he had
that's the ones I was looking at. Like I said, he was just a whole bunch of scoring. Just a whole bunch of scoring.
That run, and then the team.
He didn't start winning until KG and Ray got there.
Until they got there, so it was like a region. So it's like, and then I would say it's not even like a resurgence. Then he really introduced himself to the role.
Stayed healthy a lot of his career. Now I'm like looking at it on Basketball Reference.
Yeah, and
stayed healthy, which probably helped him because and he's not necessarily a workout warrior. You don't strike me as the type that was always in the gym like that.
And here's my thing: it's like I don't know if he's top 75. I kind of feel there's a little Celtics bias in there.
Man, I'm trying to tell you, I looked hard. Jess, I looked hard. Paul Pierce was the one I targeted.
I really thoroughly think about his career, and it's like, yeah, he's earned it. Like he's earned it. And
that's how you.
This is my problem with list.
Okay. So, but let's. Can I ask you?
Yeah.
Would you have Paul Pierce or Dwight on this list if that was the trade? Or does it just come down to Paul Pierce having the title?
Paul Pierce,
which Dwight Howard has now, but not as the best player on said team.
I would say Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce is a better player. Paul Pierce is a better player. Better player.
That's why I said like people like. So I've heard Bill Simmons use the word
better player.
So people use the word impactful like to try to describe this list like.
I don't know. See, that's my problem with that. Like, you guys are like, I would love for them to sit around. Like, see, this is my thing. If you're gonna do this, you had to do it like how they did, how they do NBA top or NFL's top 100 players, right? Which that list is bullshit in itself. But you had to do it like that, where you had to listen to these guys at least talk on why they made the choices they made.
Right. Oh, by the way, podcast listeners, Raz joined. What's up, bro? What's going on, brother?
Fuck you.
All right.
Welcome on the podcast. What unnecessary appreciate that.
But this is my problem with this. I don't know probably 30% of this list. I don't know like a lot of these players. So
yeah.
It's like
I've heard, like I said, I've names I've heard of,
and I believe and listen to you. If you talk about this, I would like, but it's like
that's when you lean on your quote unquote basketball historians, like the list I read before, like all the people that they
and Bob Ryan.
You lean on those guys.
Here's my question. Because Bob Ryan being the historian, right? I would say, where would you place Paul Pierce in all-time great Celtics? Where would you place Paul Pierce?
He's barely scratching. I don't know. I would venture to guess he's got to be in their top 10.
And it's like, how many Celtics are on this list? And he made this list.
He's not in the top. Tell you what, I'm not a Celtics fan, but he's not touching a top 5.
No, but I mean, he deserved to be in the top 75.
I'm just one like.
He's the only one that I'm arguing to catch you up. To catch you up, bro. To catch you up real quick,
because overall better than Paul Pierce or had the better.
So basically, what I was saying to Jesse was right now in the listeners, I was saying I necessarily don't have a problem with the list. I saw the internet have blow up saying Clay this, Kai this.
I do believe Kyrie should be on the list too, though.
Yeah, I got a problem with.
I do believe Clay should be on the list.
I got a problem with 3 players.
Yeah. See, you're gonna say a whole bunch of players you never seen though.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
Okay, go ahead.
I got a problem with Carmelo being in over Dwight. I got a problem with Dame being on the list altogether. Dame Lillard.
He has a problem with Dame on the list.
I thought you said Dame was on the list.
I said Dame was on the list.
Oh, he is on the list.
I got a problem with Dame Lillard being on the list altogether.
Dame over Kyrie?
Yeah, that's
yes.
Yeah.
Dame over Kyrie?
Oh, is this an argument?
Yeah, exactly. Is this an argument that Kyrie's better?
Kyrie's better at what?
I mean, he's a better scorer than me today.
No, you know what? Dame is better than Kyrie.
Are you fucking serious?
Dame is better than
Kyrie's better than Damian. Kyrie's better than Damian Lillard.
I personally think so.
You know what?
Have you ever seen Kyrie be the best player on a team before? I haven't seen it.
I've seen it be the best. This is where
I've never seen it on a winning team before. I've never seen it.
That's exactly why I said.
Right. I've never seen it on a winning team before.
Is better because Dave has led his team.
I've never seen
the best player on the team. Further,
again, Rel, to catch you up, I told Jesse at the top. I said I have my reservation as a Blazers fan. I have my reservations as Damian on the list too. But
if you
keep on playing, no, he's on the list.
I see him.
But at the same time, I was like, I could see it if he keeps playing at this level, he'll be on there. But he's better than Kyrie. Yeah. The only person to swap out is Dwight. I'd be like, if you would swap Dwight with Dame, I'd be like, all right, cool.
I don't even know that, man. Like that's the thing where it's like Dwight has had amazing like career. Like what he did on the Magic is so like overlooked.
Yeah, like people forget.
But the thing is, the reason why it's so overlooked is who he's compared to. He's not compared. That's why I said
he had no other big man to go against.
Bill Walton.
Yeah, he had no other big man to go against.
Shaq, Kareem, Bill Russell. He gets compared to the greatest.
By the way, just for reference, this is the team that Dwight Howard took to the finals to lose against the Lakers in a finals that was closer than people remember.
Turkoglu took those teams to the finals. Chill.
And like I said, Rafer Austin, which anybody know who that is, skip to my loop. Literally, Keith Bogans, who literally has a player that starts and doesn't play for the rest of the half, has something called for him, like literally one of those things. Brian Cook, Gortat, a rookie year Courtney Lee, Rashard Lewis, who was probably still eyed at that point.
No, Rashard Lewis was still a buddy.
Baller, yeah.
Jameer Nelson, who was eyed at pick and roll, he could shoot.
Michael
Petras.
Who was at that time?
People in their mind think Michael. Do you remember?
I
think Michael Petras is good.
He was ahead of his time.
What time?
JJ Redick, who never played.
Six, seven
and
defender.
Turkoglu.
JJ Redick played on that.
Not really.
Oh wait, that was young JJ.
Yeah. Second year JJ. Stan wasn't playing no rookies like that.
Vince Carter was on that team.
No, was he?
He was on one of those teams. Yeah. No,
he wasn't on the final team.
He was.
I'm looking at the roster right now.
No,
I'm looking at the roster right now. He wasn't on the final team.
He came the year after.
Yeah.
That's when the jokes half man, half retired came out. Yeah,
basically.
I have no problem with Vince being not on the list at all. So
I have no problem with Vince. I mean,
my biggest problem is Tracy McGrady, and I think Tracy McGrady should have taken Damian.
You know what's funny? You know what I think actually hurt Vince?
Find a bigger Tracy McGrady fan than me, and I think you're crazy.
You know what I actually think hurt Vince? I think playing 20 years actually hurt Vince more. If he plays like 13, 14 years, you don't get that second half of Vince's career where he's bounced around from team.
Yeah, we didn't need Hawks Vince.
Yeah, and I think that's ultimately what like hurts him.
Where he was half player, half announcer. So we didn't need Hawks Vince, but Vince didn't need to be in the top 75. I believe that Vince should have been in there. I don't know, just Dame. I don't know, just Dame doesn't deserve to be in there. I don't believe his resume.
I don't know. I
don't
think
believe
his
resume has warranted his top 75 status.
What I told Kev is the players that are currently in the NBA that are like, on this list, you look at what they've done in their career, and they had to be it's astronomical numbers. LeBron's at top 5 in all top leading statistical categories. Steph is the greatest shooter in the league has ever seen. He holds the record for the amount of threes, holds the record for most amount of threes in a season twice. Beat his own record, turn around and had to beat his own teammates' record. You know what I mean? Like what Chris Paul has done. Chris Paul is the only player to have 20,000 points, 10,000 assists, and he just got that. You know what I mean? This is one of those things where you're looking at all those guys. If you're a current player and you're like, oh, how am I not on this list? Or a player from previous, it's like we got to look back at your career. I look back at Vince's career. What does he lead in? What is he the best at? What is he like?
I think he made the most 3-pointers in NBA history. Right? Isn't he second or first?
I don't believe I believe that's Ray Allen.
No. It's not Ray Allen no more. That's old. It's Vince is like third or second 3-pointers made.
And so it's like, you know what I mean? You look at all these guys, and okay, if that's Vince's, but then that was second half Vince. That was not first half Vince. Like that's when he became the spot up shooter. Not even a spot up, but he became more of a 3-point shooter. So when I see these guys on there, like Kawhi being on there, I do believe he deserves to be.
Nah, Kawhi should be on the list.
I said he deserves to be on the list. Like that's what I'm saying. Like if Paul Pierce is on the list, Kawhi.
And my bad. Vince is 6. Vince is 6 in all 3 points.
He shouldn't be on top 75.
I
mean, I personally think T-Mac was the biggest snub. Like I think T-Mac was the biggest snub. Like I think he should definitely been on.
You know what's been surprising?
T-Mac and Dwight.
Dwight's the biggest.
I think Clay's.
That's what I was gonna get to. That's what I was gonna get to. So this whole conversation we've been having right now, this was the first time Klay Thompson's name was brought up. Rail, Jesse, we already got to talk to you, so I'm gonna let Rail talk a little bit. Does Klay Thompson have a legit grudge? Because if you look at his numbers, while he is arguably the second greatest shooter of all time, winning is all over his resume. He has 3 titles. He literally has a finals game named after him where he literally saved his team from being beat by the Oklahoma City Thunder. Does Klay have a legit grudge on not feeling a way about not making the NBA 75 list?
No, because they don't have cliff notes. Like they don't have cliff notes because he never like Clay, other than like I don't know, his highest average was like 21 points a game. He never dominated. He never finished in top 5.
If they don't have cliff notes, then Scotty doesn't belong on the list. What you just said.
Oh, what he said.
I'm going over his thing. I'm not saying Scotty doesn't belong on there because you're saying he doesn't. They don't have cliff notes. Name what Scotty has done that Clay is not the same exact. Like he is the number 2 guy.
Scotty was when the year Mike retired after the whole gambling situation.
Okay.
Scotty was top 3 MVP voting that year. Like Clay's never had an MVP season where he was the MVP for a whole season, or and unfortunately he's a product of his own teammate because his own teammate takes away a lot of the shine that he would normally get. Even the fact that he had to play with KD, he's always going to be known as a great player. But the seasons where it was like, is this Clay's MVP year? Is this like the year he finally broke out, they went to the finals. But I guess the only thing that overshadowed him was Steph's first MVP run.
So I don't want to, not to cut you off, Real, but my only thing is this.
When you get over you got to look at the cliff notes. You have to.
My only criteria, because again, all of this is we don't know what the criteria in the top 75 is the points, because 100%, I don't think Dennis should be on this list, but whatever. Throw Dennis on the list.
Dennis Rodman?
Cool. Yes.
Yeah, take him off.
So again, like I don't know what the criteria is, but I do think one of the criteria
Dennis Rodman's top
2-time defensive player of the year and one of the best rebound. I can't, but it's like
where is he at in rebounding? Dennis Rodman, it's impact of the game. If you're counting impact, they're saying
that's what I'm again. I'm saying impact. They haven't
games.
Nobody specified what the criteria for the 75 list was.
If you're saying
I said impact.
And Dennis Rodman impacted games.
No, I get it.
Dennis Rodman literally did that. So it's like
I get it. But again, since we're doing a list like this and it's 75 years of basketball, you have to nitpick. So basically what I'm saying is I'm gonna start off again. I think they did an awesome job with the list. I don't hate the list. The only omission I think they had was Dwight Howard. I think they should have Dwight Howard on the list. I do think a criteria for the list though should be you had to be at least top, make a top 5, almost top 10 MVP push, in my opinion. Like you had to have some kind of MVP buzz around you.
Top five.
Yeah, like you had to have a year where MVP buzz was kind of around you. And if you're not that, then you had to be one hell of a defender, which Dennis was, or be the best player on the finals team, which Paul Pierce was. Those are the separators, right? Those are obviously the separators that obviously curated this list, in my opinion. I don't want to stay too long. If you guys want to talk about anything else, I would like to talk about current NBA before we move off the 75 list. So, Rail says his 3 biggest people that got snubbed was T-Mac, which I disagree with, Dwight, and who was the third one?
I can't think of it. Damn, who was the third person I said? T-Mac, Dwight. Keep going. I forgot.
Did you say Ree or no?
Yeah, Kyrie over Dame.
Jesse, any big omissions for you?
Kyrie hit a big shot in probably one of the biggest games. He sealed the fate.
Does that make him a better player than Damian Lillard?
The whole thing is that he was. It's not his fault of the position his team was put in. Because I don't even think Dame could have been as successful in early Cleveland.
Kyrie had a chance to be the best player on the team that was legitly his. He could have been the best player on the Celtics. He ran from it. As a great philosopher named Jarrell Wilkerson once said, the lights got too bright. Lights got too bright.
That's what it is.
All right. So again, like I said, I'm gonna reiterate, we're recording this on a Sunday afternoon. The Brooklyn Nets just lost to the Charlotte Hornets. Yeah. KD had 38 and they lost. So it's time to talk. We're gonna do our little beat first 2-3 games overreaction, and we should probably start with who everybody thinks is going to be the NBA Finals with the Los Angeles Lakers and the Brooklyn Nets. While the Brooklyn Nets necessarily aren't in peril, they're 1-2, and I wouldn't even say the Lakers are in peril. Like, it's still early. The Lakers starting 0-2. Everybody who saw that Friday game, a lot of weird stuff. There was a back and forth between Dwight and AD. Referees were awful in that game, both sides. Chris Paul, got his 20,000 point, or no, 60,000 point. That's what it was, right?
Yeah.
So shout out to him. Rel, I know you want to spew your Laker.
No.
Wait a minute. The house is not on fire. Everything is okay. You don't have to get the children out. But can you at least tell me that there's cracks in the foundation of the house?
I can't tell yet because 2 games.
You can't tell that there's cracks in the foundation yet?
I can't tell because 2
Okay.
games
Right.
and before this, the big 3 only played together in probably maybe 12, 13 minutes together. So I can't tell yet what.
By the way, when you say big 3, you mean LeBron, AD, and DJ, right? Because DJ's your man.
Listen, bro, I'm talking about LeBron, AD, and Russ.
Oh, okay, my bad. Continue.
Second off, DJ being frisky this year. Though he's gonna be in the,
I knew he was gonna throw that in.
he's been in the JaVale McGee role.
Okay, continue, man. Get the fuck out of here.
He's in the JaVale role. He's only there for tip dunks and block shots. All right, but I don't have any issue yet, honestly. With I don't see nothing yet that really concerns me. Because the team's not even healthy, and they didn't play preseason together. Like, I factor all of this shit in. I factor in that it's early, But I will say, one of the teams that does look good is Charlotte. That's a team that I have been watching. Charlotte.
100%.
Charlotte. I mean, LaMelo game 1 when he brought that team back. I watched that whole comeback. I watched the first half of this game. The Brooklyn. I didn't even know if they won the game, but Charlotte's a team I'm keeping an eye on. But as far as the Lakers go, I'm not concerned yet. We got the Memphis Grizzlies tonight. We just gotta, it's just time. It's
wait. Did you say the Memphis Grizzlies they're tough? That's a dub?
That's tough.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's a dub.
No, yeah, Ja coming in the house tonight. They beat us last year a couple times.
Okay.
Everything's a test. Everything ain't no nights off in the West. Even
yes, there is. Yes, there is.
Where?
Oh, the fucking New Orleans Pelicans exist.
I mean, but when healthy,
the Oklahoma City Thunder exists. They're out there.
When healthy, they still can.
But they're not healthy. They're not going to be healthy for a while.
I mean, but worst case
long while, because
long while, and not, even when they get healthy, they gotta go on a diet.
Yeah, wait.
Shout out Zion, get back soon. But okay, so Rel won't admit that there's at least cracks in the foundation of the Lakers. That's fine. I will say this again. Obviously, we all pay attention to basketball very closely. I listen to damn near every basketball podcast with every credible person that I trust, whose opinion I trust, and which Rel reminded me, Brian Windhorst and Rel are aligned with their saying that they're not going to worry about the Lakers until Christmas.
Not worried until Christmas. Not worried at all.
He's not worried until Christmas. The Lakers can go and whatever until Christmas, which I think is bullshit.
Can we also admit this? Most teams that when LeBron does this whole,
they all start bad. They're bad starters.
They're all bad starts.
All bad starts.
Even if they start good, they always go on this lull and they start losing a bunch of games because they're still figuring it out. So I'm not worried, at least not until Christmas.
Again, I'm not using the word worried. Like, again,
we
I'm
also
not.
play two really damn good teams.
I'm not using the word worried yet, but that's why I use the word cracks in the foundation. There's no way.
Let me keep this in mind. Two teams we're talking about two teams that, number one, they know each other. They're like they've gone years of playing with each other, and they know the offense. Versus a team that's like, yeah, we have good players, but we're still figuring this shit out. So everybody's talking that shit.
Lakers have injuries again. Yeah, the Lakers have injuries to players who are definitely be in the rotation. Obviously, Trevor, Taylor Horton Tucker, Wayne Ellington, who's Rose waiting for. But from what I've seen, again, of early, again, it's early. I'm not even gonna bring up those stats, even though I have some. Watching game one was jarring. I was obviously the one thing I was confirmed was for watching the first game against the Warriors. I was just like, does LeBron still look like LeBron? Check mark. LeBron still looks like LeBron. That's good. He's not attacking as much.
Fuck you, Kevin. Fuck you, Kevin. You talk shit about LeBron all fucking year. You want to check the check mark about LeBron? Still got it. I told you, nigga, still had it. Nigga.
I don't think that's a fair assessment to make sure a guy that's played as much minutes and time as he has in year 19, coming off a playoff, coming off a playoff where he was hurt.
No,
I just wanted to make
you just want to take shots at LeBron, and
I just wanted to make sure LeBron still looked like LeBron. And okay, I will say this: after like the first 4 minutes of the first game, I was like, okay, that's still LeBron James. He still looks like year 14, year 15, year 16 LeBron. It still looks good.
That you had even doubt in your head, Bron's never coming on this podcast.
Also, with that, I wanted to make sure AD looked like AD. There was a big hubbub about him getting bigger because he's supposed to play 5. Frank Vogel talked to him, and now he's going to play more 5.
Why you gotta say it like that?
He's gonna play more 5. Him and Frank had a talk at 2, and he's expected to play more 5. So he beefed up and got bigger. And again, in game 1, AD looked good. AD looked good. The jumper looked great, especially the mid range. He was in the post. He was active as fuck on defense. And nobody else. So again, I'm not. Again, so what you say about the Lakers is what how I feel about Russ. Like, I would love to see him play good games, but I don't expect him to play well because he literally got to figure this out. He's so used to having his hand on the post and the joystick of the team that it will take him a while to adjust that if he's going to have less opportunities with the ball. So that's how I feel about Russ.
It's gonna be tough for us, but it's gonna be an adjustment. But Brody, just in time, Brody, it'd be fine. You know, we gotta get, just the offense acclimated in the right direction. We got to figure out where people need to be, and we need more DeAndre Jordan minutes. You know.
And ladies and gentlemen, he's serious. Anyway, so all that I took away from game 1. Now, the game 2 against the Suns, the team that a lot of people, media and players alike, have said that they're the safest bet to go to the Western Conference Finals if they were to bet. The team that a lot of people have felt like if the Lakers were healthy, the Lakers would have beat, which I'm in that camp. I agree. If the Lakers were healthy, they would have beat the Suns. For the Suns to just come out and literally for fucking 42 minutes, I know they made it close at the end. I watched the game. But that was an ass kicking for 38, 42 minutes, 45 minutes. It just was. Again, the referees didn't help. It was awful. It was awful refereeing on both sides. But for Miles Bridges, I think in Miles Bridges' brain, he thinks he can guard LeBron.
Mikal Bridges.
Because when he guards LeBron,
Mikal Bridges.
It's either,
You mean Mikal Bridges?
Mikal Bridges, my bad. Mikal Bridges. I was watching the Hornets game, my bad. Mikal Bridges thinks he can guard LeBron. Because every time he guards him, it's either a no call, the referees called a whole bunch of no calls, or it was a block or it was a steal. He feels like he can guard LeBron, and I felt like LeBron hit a whole bunch of threes. I think he only attacked the basket once in that game. He probably couldn't because the paint was so packed up because Frank Vogel decided to play Rondo and Russell Westbrook together.
Okay, let me jump in.
Go ahead.
Because yes, watching this, us talking earlier, there's a little bit of concern when it comes.
I just want people to admit that there's cracks in the foundation.
When it comes to the Suns,
yeah,
and you made an excellent point. Mikal Bridges thinks he can guard LeBron.
He thinks he can guard LeBron, and LeBron needs to stop that shit.
It's not just Mikal Bridges.
He still put 30 on his fucking head, though.
He just knocked down threes.
But it's not just Mikal Bridges, though.
Oh, Jay Crowder, too.
The whole team thinks they can guard each player one-on-one. They don't need to double team whatsoever. They're not afraid, and they're not afraid of the shooting. So they know that you're going to pack it in, and that allows Ayton to just sit there and be a shot blocker or an effector. So they have to figure out, because the way you beat them is movement. Moving.
Not to cut you off, Jesse, I'm gonna let you go. You talked about that they feel like DeAndre Ayton feels like he's just as good as AD. If I'm DeAndre Ayton, I feel like I'm just as good as him, because every time I play him, I damn near kick his ass. And AD, thanks for no showing again, by the way, in game 2, on both sides of the court. I know why you were mad at Dwight. It's because you were mad at yourself for how sorry you played on the court that game, on both sides of the ball. You couldn't knock down a jumper to save your life. Again, I'm not going to completely blame you because, A, the paint is packed because Russ and Rondo are out there.
How is the paint packed because Russ and Rondo out there? When Rondo has the fucking ball half the time and Russ is on the other side of the floor.
At the 3-point line.
Because people are just coming in the paint.
He decided
AD sees 3 bodies.
From the beginning of the game, he decided to be jump shot AD.
AD. That's what really.
Or not even jump shot AD. He decided to be fadeaway AD.
He tried too many turnaround jumpers. That's really what the problem was. He didn't even drive to the basket because still nobody could guard him when he's driving to the basket. He's still fucking 7-1. So I'm just saying he shot a lot of jump shots. So
he did.
He'll be all right. I'm not worried about him. It's tough when you have to adjust. Not only
he has to put Aiden the same way I feel like LeBron should put Bridges in his place to let that nigga know, like, you can't guard me. You're not stronger than me. You may have the speed advantage on me now, but that shit will not matter. AD should feel the same way. AD should feel.
Ayton is stronger than AD.
He probably is,
and I think,
he's not. He's not more skilled than him. He's not more skilled than him, and AD should take a player like Aiden as a challenge. Play Aiden. Play Aiden the way you used to play Karl Anthony Towns when people used to say Karl Anthony Towns was better than you. Remember when that was a thing like 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
And
people were saying Cat was better than AD.
But we keep saying Aiden, but Aiden wasn't guarding him. That's another problem. Aiden wasn't guarding him.
Yeah.
It was what's his name?
Aiden was going on Melo.
He was on Melo. He was on DeAndre Jordan. Like he wasn't guarding him. We're talking about what's his name? Is it? His last name started with a C. He get Dredge. I don't know why I can't remember his name.
Crowder, right?
Crowder. There we go. Crowder was guarding him. Crowder. And it's like, if you're going to shoot jump shots, at least, I told you, jump straight up and down. Stop fading away. You're going to get the foul call jumping straight up and down. But you let him out.
I don't know about that game. LeBron got fouled like 5-6 times.
Well, I'm not talking about
that. AD got fouled like 5-6 times.
We can all agree that game was just terribly ref.
Russell got fouled like 4 or 6 times.
But the thing is, we can say what we want about that game. Yes, you're saying that they got beat for 42 minutes. No, that first quarter, the Lakers were perfectly fine in that first quarter until we had 12 fucking fouls in the first quarter. 12. And 3 of our top players had 2 fouls already on bullshit calls. Like the one LeBron stepped on was under Crowder. That was a legit foul. I don't know why I know why they challenged it so LeBron wouldn't get his starting foul, but that was a legit foul. All the other ones was like, what the fuck are you doing? Ref was just calling fouls. So, and that just took the Lakers out of their rhythm. And then you had to start putting players in that shouldn't have been in the game yet. And you waited till the last like 4 minutes of the second quarter to put Rondo finally into the game. I didn't understand that one either, but whatever. I'm not going to question Vogel right now.
All right, like I said, so, I mean, again, the house is not on fire. Nobody has to evacuate the home. The IRS aren't knocking on down the door yet, but there's some cracks in the foundation that needs to be addressed. And it's early in the season.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you that this is going on?
I'm not happy. So as far as the Brooklyn Nets go, I'm gonna go. The house is obviously same thing with them. I'm not even gonna bring up the Kyrie shit. This would probably be the first pod in a while we haven't brought that shit up, and I'm kind of thankful. I think Steve Nash is overcoaching, but I do think there's egos in there in that locker room. I think this team went too heavy on bigs. I think Millsap and LaMarcus, which he had an awesome game, their second game, which he'll never have again, by the way. I'm glad he's back, though. I'm glad his heart condition is great, but he sucks. I think they lean too much big. They for some reason they're playing Bruce Brown less, which I felt like that was one of their better lineups. I can't talk necessarily about the Hornets game. I didn't watch all of it, but Hornets run up and down, and they just kick their ass running up and down. Literally running up and down and kick their ass. The Brooklyn Nets are fine. Again, the same thing with the Lakers. I'm not saying that they're in trouble by any means for the most part. Harden looks good. KD looks fucking great.
I will say this.
Patty Mills is worth every dime.
I'll say this. It's very disrespectful to other teams that I never felt the Lakers and Nets were a lock. Like Nets probably more than the Lakers, but I never felt like they were a lock for the finals. So I think it's kind of disrespectful to all these other teams that Heat are looking good. Tyler Hero is backing up his word.
The Chicago Bulls. I'm gonna bring up these teams that we never usually talk about on this pod. The Chicago Bulls, the 3-0 Chicago Bulls. Shout out to Julian at Atlas. I got one of his shirts on. Shout out to him. The Chicago fucking Bulls. 3-0 Chicago fucking Bulls. Zach LaVine is literally having the best time of his life. He doesn't have to do a whole bunch, and they're winning games. Again, they haven't played anybody yet. Let me reiterate this. They haven't played any of their hard people on their schedule yet. But for the most part, and I'm not just talking about the shit that I see on house highlights, they look good. I actually watched their second game. People was talking shit about their defense. They get enough stops to be successful.
No.
Like, they get enough stops to be successful. They
haven't played anybody who's going to even put the pressure on them.
They haven't played nobody, but they look like they can get enough stops to be successful. They can put out a lineup where it's not going to be the end of the world. DeRozan's not including that lineup. But I like what I've seen from them. I like what I've seen with the Knicks. But and I'm going to do this again because we did this a couple pods a while ago. Knicks fans, relax. It's early in the season. I get it. That first game of the season was a fucking instant classic. I loved it. Watched every dribble.
I'm trying to tell you, man. It
was a great game. But did you guys see the videos?
Yeah.
Of the Knicks after the game one? Again, they should probably feel that way to an extent for winning the double overtime against their crosstown rival.
All of these things. It's all the hype. That's what New York does. That's what the fuck they do. They hype. Man. You ever notice with New York teams? It's when they're not expected to win is when they win. And when they are expected to win or they got all this hype, they don't do shit. When the Giants, the New York Giants, nobody expected them to win against the Patriots. Remember they backed into the playoffs. Yeah. They barely got it, and then they won that Super Bowl. Twice they did that shit. They weren't when they were expected to be favorites. They didn't do shit. This is New York teams. This is why because media is New York biased. Did you hear what Stephen A? Like, look, I know we don't fuck around with Stephen A. like that. But you hear what he said? He said only the Nets and the Bucks are the only team that the Knicks are in the way of the Knicks.
Did he believe that?
Did he forget the ass kicking that the Hawks gave him in the first round.
But I don't think the Hawks are going to be better than the Knicks this year.
The Knicks
Why?
whoa. Better.
Why?
Because they added half court scoring that they didn't have last year. Last year we just throw it to Randall or Derrick Rose. This year you have four options, and RJ Barrett, he can actually kind of shoot this year.
Oh, okay.
If that's what you're leaning on, I'm about to say because Kemba hasn't looked good yet.
No, you just need
Kemba hasn't looked good yet.
Competent players in the half court. Like you just need something in the half court. Like I don't believe
that makes them that much better than the team that just went to the Eastern Conference.
The Hawks are still better. Have you seen? I'm sure you've seen these Hawks play. The Hawks are a legit 9 deep. Like I was just telling Jesse that like whenever a disgruntled superstar wants to go somewhere, like the Hawks are going to be like, hey, you want a little Cam Reddish in your life? You want a little Kayvon? You might get a little Hunter in your life. Like they're packed with not only good rotation players, but they have picks. They have all their picks, if I remember correctly. They're set up to get, I don't know whoever, I'm gonna just call him Duke. Whoever Duke is, whoever the next Duke is. Any other teams anybody's want to hit on?
I think the Mavericks.
I don't even think they're better than the fucking Pacers. Like I don't.
Pacers are good.
Bullshit.
That's what I'm
Pacers
saying.
are good. Pacers are good.
Bullshit. What did the Pacers do last year? Can we all?
Whoa! Last year, you know what they didn't have? They had a coach that they hated. Now they play for Rick Carlisle, one of the best coaches in basketball.
Oh, hold on. So who did they fire?
I forgot Buddy's name.
Nate Borgen was his name. I
forgot Buddy's name.
I don't know. I just always hate when you just blame the coach. All of a sudden, new coach comes in, everything.
But you're the same dude that you don't believe in coaching in basketball. Remember?
I believe in coaching. I mean, I have a great coach in Frank Vogel. So I mean, I don't.
That's not what I asked you.
Great coach.
You don't believe in coaching. You you like to use the word ball roller, and I love Frank, but don't call him great.
He's a great coach.
He's a very good coach.
He's a really good coach.
But you used to call coaches ball rollers. You call Steve Nash a ball roller, right? He's a ball roller
because he is. Because he is.
I agree.
Steve Kerr's a ball roller, right, bro?
No. Steve Kerr isn't a ball roller, but he gets ball rollers a little title sometimes because the way he coaches. I mean, they were supposed to be ahead of the curve, but then they just drafted, James Wiseman over LaMelo Ball, and
Is Eric Spoelstra a ball roller?
No, Spo's one of the few. He's one of the few. He's one of the few. He's one of the chosen few.
They had to.
So can I ask you this? So Frank isn't a ball roller?
No, he's a defensive tactician. I
can't wait until I can't say. Hey, so how many games into the season until you start believing in stats?
Till after Christmas.
I feel like you're just saying that because you wanted to align with your fucking other take.
Of course he said that.
No, but I mean, I would say this. Tonight is about as must win as a regular season game gets for us, I think. Yeah. I want to go on.
So somebody asked me the other, I was like, my brother, shout out to Illa. He's like, man, what's going on with the Lakers? When they gonna get their next win? And I was like, man, well, they should be praying for the Pelicans. The Pelicans are coming close on their roster soon. So their confidence will go up soon, and I think Oklahoma City's on the roster soon too, like on the schedule. So there's some wins. Right. There's some wins coming up on the pipe.
We're gonna win tonight. We're gonna beat the Memphis Grizzlies tonight. Like after watching that last press conference, guys, I think guys are on the cusp of figuring shit out.
I mean, they practiced yesterday.
All right. Is anything else you guys want to hit on before I take us in a completely different direction?
Steph Curry, MVP.
See, you are the people I hate too. We can't call nobody MVP after 3 games, Jess.
I'm not
the same way. MVP. It's the same way for you're saying that he's gonna be. Oh, you're saying period.
My vote is if we're doing predictions.
I hate Steph people.
If Steph Curry, I'm not saying he's the MVP right now. I'm saying if Steph Curry stays healthy. To me,
I hate this in basketball. I hate this in football. After week 2, I think it was First Take. It was one of them stupid shows. I just saw it on my phone. I didn't watch where they were talking about like MVP already after week 2, and I was like, it's the fucking second week. Well, I don't want to see.
Yes, I'm not saying I'm
Shit
saying
like that.
My prediction is he will be MVP. Watching them play,
Sure. He's definitely in the ballpark. I don't know who you picked. This, I mean, I'm not.
Who at this point right now? We're talking about through 3 games,
because MVP goes with narrative. MVP goes with narrative too. Like, and I think Steph Curry will have a really good narrative without Clay. Yeah, for sure. I can see that.
I'm not just saying it of a reaction. I'm saying the team is actually playing really well. The offense is Steph Curry. What's the difference from last year?
I think if Joel Embiid balls, he'll have a really good narrative too. With all the I'm gonna say his name, Ben Simmons. We haven't said his name on the pod yet. All right, so
afraid to get booed. That's why he's not coming back. You know that, right?
One of my podcasts don't even refer to his name. They just call him number 25. It's funny. They be like, "Yeah, so 25."
Nah, because if you want all this shit to end, just get us the fuck up out of there. So.
We're not doing this. We're not doing this. I know you guys want to talk a little Gruden. I know we're kind of pressing on time. Jesse still want to hit on Gruden?
No, I'm good. Fuck
okay. All right, so tonight it's a big night for HBO. We got Succession, we got Insecure tonight, and we got Curb. Which one are you guys looking forward to tonight?
Insecure. That's all we acknowledge. Insecure is the only thing we acknowledge right here.
Jesse? Not caught up, but it'll be Insecure. I'm not watching it.
What?
I'm sorry.
I didn't know that. You just gonna throw that at the end?
Yeah, that's crazy.
You just gonna throw that at the end, or are you not caught up on Insecure?
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I don't watch a whole lot of TV, obviously, and I'm caught up on. I rewatch Insecure, so I can have it fresh on my brain.
Yeah, I just rewatched it too.
I don't watch Succession, so that was a trick question. I don't watch it. A lot of people notice about me. I heard Succession is great. Same thing with Ted Lasso. I heard Ted Lasso is great. I haven't watched it.
I actually watched Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso's fun.
Any of these water cooler shows that everybody I see on the internet all the time, you got to notice about. I don't run to these shows. Like I don't. Like I'm not gonna run to Squid Game because everybody's watching. I'm not doing this.
I will say this though: if Ted Lasso is winning awards,
30 awards, right? Didn't it win like 30 some fucking Emmys or some shit like that?
Insecure win awards. That's all. That's all I'm gonna say. Like Ted Lasso is fun.
Give Issa her fucking Emmys.
If Ted Lasso's winning awards, Insecure should win awards. That's all I can say.
I just heard all I hear about Ted Lasso is that the guy is like Michael Scott, and I was like, oh, I already seen that before.
He's nowhere near. I wouldn't say he's nowhere.
That's what
near.
I've heard.
No, it's a Michael Scott type character, but I mean, there's really good funny moments like when
I heard it's good.
Like when he does the whole practice thing, like that shit had me crying. Like
I heard it's good, and it's on my list of when I have time to like sit and like watch shit.
You'll enjoy it. Like
I'm sure,
knowing your sense of comedy.
Yeah. Y'all know I like the weird shit. Seinfeld is my shit. So, Curb.
But I will say this:
Parks and Rec.
While we on TV shows,
it's not even weird. It's just lighthearted. It's lighthearted fun. It's not. It's not
the Good Place. The Good Place is my shit.
Okay, so if you like the Good Place,
love the Good Place.
You'll definitely like. Good Place had a good 2 seasons, and then it kind of fell off from there. But it was a fun show.
All right. Does anybody have anything else to say before we get out of here?
Watch Dune. I think Dune is probably one of the best.
Rail said Dune. Oh, I've been.
I gotta watch it in theaters.
It's probably one of the best. Probably one of the best 5. I haven't seen a movie this well directed probably in the last 5 or 10 years. Like I think it's up there. Like it's incredible.
It's supposed to be the next Harry Potter. Speaking of movies, I've been out
5 or
by the way
years. Yeah, the last 5 or 10 years.
I haven't seen a movie.
The last 5 or 10 years.
Jesse, you gotta know when Rail ranks stuff, it doesn't really mean anything because he says that shit all the time.
No. But here's the thing, though. Did you even ask me a context? Ask me what was comparable to it. Only thing I could say comparable to this movie, aesthetically shot, was 1917 because it had no cutscenes in the movie, and it was probably one of the best. In that movie, was probably one of the best directed scenes I've seen. But I'm talking about aesthetically. this movie shouldn't be on anybody's TV. It should be watched in the theater only because you can't. Because even my 4K shit can't capture everything that this movie was built to do. It took 16 years for it, but I think it's within the last 5 years. If you just on the director alone, I think if you just look at that, it's probably one of the best directed films I've seen recently. I mean, I'm going on edge. I mean, I keep up with the Oscars and shit like that, so. I'm not telling you about nothing I don't know. It's the same director who made Blade Runner 2049. I hated that fucking movie.
Okay, so just real quick, you're mixing directing and you're mixing director of photography,
screenplay.
But I mean,
all these things together. When you're saying it's beautifully shot, that is different than just saying the most well-directed movie.
Right.
Like
it's well directed, beautifully shot. I mean, everything. You got to see it is what I'm coming down to. You got to, and I don't know, like I haven't seen a movie where I was like, oh shit, this is kind of fucking epic. Like this is different. Like I don't know. Like, I wish I would have saw it in theaters. Like that's how good I think it is.
What was I about to say? I've been to the movie theaters a couple times. I've been outside. By the way, when are we done with the phrase "we outside"? When is that phrase gonna die for 2021? And we bringing that with us in 2022?
I thought
the phrase
dead.
"we outside."
Thought it been dead.
No, it's still being used. We're still using the phrase "we outside."
Still? Who's stuck inside the house?
Who's still stuck? That's my thing. Who's stuck in the house still? That's my reason. My whole reason by it. I think the phrase "we outside" should go away. Like it's one of those things that needs to go away now. Anyway, I'll see the James Bond movie in theaters. Fucking epic. I went to go. What's another movie I went to go see?
You're one of the few people I've heard good things about that James Bond movie.
I love that movie. But you know, I die for this franchise. I went to go see Halloween Kills. Also really good. I did not know it was a fucking. I did not know
Halloween Kills is really good.
I
like Halloween Kills.
That movie was fucking terrible.
I love Halloween Kills.
All right, I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna listen.
I like Halloween Kills.
Remember the scene, Kev, with Michael Myers was outside the car with the black dude and his girlfriend in the car. The black dude and the girlfriend when he was in his car. Remember the black dude? The old lady was in the front seat.
Yeah, they were a nurse and a doctor. Yeah. What about it?
After you made it tell you like that part of the movie, nigga, I was done with it after that.
Real, do you like the horror genre at all? Are you a big fan of horror genre? Do you watch horror genre besides just the big three, which I just like Freddy, Jason, and you watch other horror movies?
When it's not goofy. Like I watched like Quiet Place. I watched that. That was a horror movie.
Okay.
I mean Michael Myers, it's a slasher flick, but I just hate when it's goofy slasher flick. Like
what was goofy about it?
The black dude and the fucking black dude. The black dude, his fucking.
The only thing that was goofy about the movie to me was Little John and Big John. That should piss me off. Other than that, movie was I like the movie because I like the horror movie genre. Anyway,
you like to see people get killed?
I do. I like the horror movie genre. I do. I can't wait for the next Scream movie and Jeepers Creepers. Anyway, do you guys have anything else to say before we get out of here? It looks like I made Jesse's head hurt, and I'm kind of okay with it, actually, to be honest with you, because I stand by mine.
I haven't even watched the movie. I saw the trailer and knew the movie was going to be terrible.
It's terrible,
I don't know.
I liked it.
Stop giving our friends bullshit about these movies, because then when we're gonna want their money back when they go see the shit, and we ain't got the budget to cover.
Well, spoiler alert! It's a trilogy. There's one more coming.
What?
Spoiler alert! There's one more coming. It's a trilogy.
You know,
Jamie Lee Curtis signed down for 3 movies, and it's being shot right now. It's going to come out the next Halloween.
You want to know why I say it's a bad movie? You want to know why I say it's a bad movie? It's because they knew it was a bad movie. They promoted you to go watch it on Peacock more than going to the theaters and watching it. That tells you a lot.
Which I don't understand why they did that.
That's true.
Which and we may not even ever get a fucking part 2 of that. Like,
that's why I'm excited to watch June. I could watch it on HBO. Great.
Well, there is going to be a part 2 of Dune. They already signed.
Yeah, it's. I told you, it's fucking Harry Potter.
I mean, but here's the thing, though. But
it's the Hunger Games. They're trying to make this a big trilogy.
You may not get the director again.
But I don't know. I hate getting invested in these trilogies if it's going to start switching up on me, because I really could be invested in Dune. Like,
trust me, there's plenty of movies where the directors have been switched and you didn't even notice because they have the same team of creators doing it.
Fast and Furious.
Dune. Continue. Is based off of the book. You bring in the same writers, they bring in the same ideas, everything. Right. Yeah, it may have a different vision visually in the sense of how the pacing or something goes, but I don't think it changes that much when you change directors. If you bring the same team and you bring everybody, and he'll have some sort of say of it, even if he's not fully directing it. Or they'll bring somebody in that's just as good. They don't just sit there and switch it completely.
100%. All right. Thank you for listening and thank you for watching this episode of Those Millennials Podcast. I'm Rel. That's Jesse. That's Jarrell. And we'll catch you guys later. Thank you.
Appreciate y'all.
You said you're Rel.
Oh, my bad. Jarrell.
No, you said
you're Rel.
Oh. Yeah, my bad.